In this video, I'm going to show you how to read your PAWS email. You should check your PAWS email daily. The PAWS email is a separate email system. It's a closed email system. In other words, you can only email from one PAWS email account to another PAWS email account. That offers some benefits that we're going to talk about, but sometimes it can be confusing to students, so we're going to look at that. I have a note down here that says, do you read your Dropbox receipts? So as part of what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to clue you in on how you can check those Dropbox receipts. It's a tip for success, and it's something a lot of students don't even realize. Okay, so I've opened my web browser, I've logged into the PAWS system, and I'm still on the My home page. Now typically, as you probably know, what we do is, scroll down to find our current semester and click and enter the class. Well, when you do, this My Home toolbar up here changes a little bit in its functionality. It begins to filter the information that you see based on the class that you entered into. So my suggestion to you with PAWS email is that initially just stay on the My Home page. Come over here to this envelope. Now, if you have a new email, there will be a little dot, red dot on this email icon. But if you've ever clicked this and then you click away, guess what? That little red dot will be gone, but you still may have some email to read. So here's my tip for success. Every day, just maybe at least once a day, log into PAWS. When you're on the My Home page, click on the envelope, go to Mail. Now, look at what I see. Right away, I see that I have a Dropbox submission receipt. Well, I can click on this to read it, but instead, I'm just going to click Go to Email. You may be asking yourself, what is a Dropbox submission receipt? Well, the really neat thing about PAWS is that when you upload your assignments, in other words, you submit them into a Dropbox that was set up by your instructor, you get a receipt for turning in that homework. If you don't get the receipt, that tells you that there was some kind of problem. But later on, let's say that your instructor says, well, I don't see that you ever turned in the file. You can say, well, I have this receipt. Now, there may still be some question about exactly what you did turn in and how good the content of what you turned in was, but you will have a receipt saying that you submitted your homework. If you first go into a class and then check the email, you won't see this receipt. So that's a good tip for success. So how do I read my email? Well, you can see everything that's bolded here has not yet been read. Let's look at one of these Dropbox receipts, see what it looks like. You can see I've got mine configured as a separate pop-up window. It tells me who sent it, the system sent it, when it was sent, to who, all this good kind of stuff. And it confirms this was the name of the Dropbox, right? And so you have all that information there. So that is, first of all, a very, key tip for success. If I want to go back and go into one of my courses, I just simply click on the My Home link. And now, let me go into one of my courses. How about, I'll go into personal finance. And maybe once I'm inside the class, I think to myself, I'm going to check my email. So I'm going to come up here, go to email. You see I'm clicking the link. And as my screen loads, there's an extra piece of information at the top that you didn't see before. See where it says filter by. And in fact, it tells me I don't even have any emails. Well, you saw that I had several unread emails. But the thing is, they were not associated with this particular class. And so I might get the misinformation that I don't have emails when in fact I do. Okay, so what do? Well, go back to My Home and then click the envelope, right? Okay, that's what I recommend. But what you can do, if you've already gone into email, is you can click on this drop-down box and remove the filter by clicking on All Messages. This way, nothing is hidden. You know exactly what you have. And look at all those emails that were hidden to me simply because I had entered into my class section first, right? Now, just a couple, other minor pieces of information. Don't forget to scroll down so that you can see all the emails. And also, if you're like me, and hopefully you do not have this many unread emails, but if you have multiple pages, maybe you're looking for some instructions that were sent to you in an email or an important message, you can change pages of your email. All right. And I'm going to go back to page 1. It's basically like any other email system in that sense. You have your sent items folder here. You can delete messages. I can just simply mark one and say I'm going to, move it to the trash. Why don't I do that? This is about chapter 1. I have a message there, and I'm going to click move to trash. Right? So pretty straightforward, and I hope this is helpful. Of course, if you want to go back to my home page, I'm going to talk in more detail about how to send an email and include attachments and that type of thing. But for now, I hope this gets you started in checking your PAWS emails daily. Thank you.